Northside ISD will welcome more students for in-person learning next month, but with a few less employees. The district has seen a slight uptick in resignations and retirements. As Eyewitness News reporter Jaleesa Irizarry explains, the district's union fears it'll only get worse.
A message at the bottom of Northside ISD's homepage hints to change on the horizon. The district is giving parents until the end of the month to decide if they want their child back inside a classroom. It's the latest move, as San Antonio now falls into the pandemic safe zone. But for some Northside educators, with more students returning, safe isn't the word they'd use.
We've had teachers call us and say, what are my options?
Over the last few weeks, Wanda Longoria, the Northside Teachers Union president, says she's received about 30 calls from members considering a resignation or early retirement. And according to district numbers, at least 19 have gone through with it.
We've had many phone calls the last few weeks of teachers who have been forced into retirement due to the fact that they're aging and they do have underlying conditions, and the district did not give them the work from home approval.
Of the departures in the last month, Northside says 15 of them were resignations while 4 were retirements. Compared to last year, they had 11 resignations and no retirements during the same time period.
To hear teachers have to make that choice is just beyond heartbreaking.
While Northside ISD said they could not tell us the reasoning behind these departures, in a statement they stated in part, quote, "We respect these decisions and appreciate the years of service provided to NISD and to our students and families." But for Longoria, as the calls of concern stream into her office, she wonders.
After the pandemic, who would be left to teach our students?
Jaleesa Irizarry, KENS 5 Eyewitness News.